Hi, Mark. Can you hear me okay? No microphone. How are you? Good evening. I'm trying to... Okay, great. I'm trying to set up the monitor. There we go. I'll be able to see it over here now. Oops, let me mute. Okay. I was contemplating whether or not to come on tonight because I'm fully drained from this morning, but I just thought I'd come on for a little bit just to kind of get back up on the horse, you know what I mean? But I'm totally drained. Hi, Crawl. So what's been going on? I just had a really chill day. I thought it would probably be a good idea for me to shower, which I did. It wasn't like a magical transformative fix or anything like that, but at least it did help. You know, I guess I just had a lot to get out this morning. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's really uncommon for me, completely uncommon. And I won't really be myself probably until I sleep it off. It's like my neurology gets kind of funky, and the only way to fix that is literally just sleep. Resets my neurology. Hi, Willie. And I was just watching some of these other live streamers. I was actually at a couple good live streams, other autistic creators and neurodivergent creators. Some of the creators are more focused on ADHD, which I don't think is me. And there's one doctor, I think he's a doctor. He talks about just neurodivergence in general. And I didn't even know he did live. So I stumbled on that tonight, and that was pretty interesting. I stumbled on another live with these two women, and one of these ladies was talking about how, have you ever heard of a feeling wheel? I'm going to show it to you. Watch this. This is a feeling wheel. Yeah, I don't know if I would call today a meltdown because it wasn't like, you know, a fight or flight response necessarily. When I have a meltdown, I can't talk. But yeah, when I have a meltdown, I can't speak. I haven't had a meltdown in several years now because I've just learned how to control my environment and isolate myself so much. But I was listening, oh wait, let me go back to the monitor part. I was listening to some ladies today, and this woman was talking about this feeling wheel. So I need to, she's like, there's only really like 4 main feelings, and then they all kind of branch out from there. And being on the spectrum, we often have a hard time understanding our feelings or saying what they are. And I was like, well, yeah, totally, that's me. Then she said, you know, there's people who they express every emotion as sadness or every emotion as anger. If they're sad, they still express it as anger. Yeah, Google it. The feeling wheel. It's really interesting. And I realized today, I mean, I've had a concept, sort of a vague sense that I express my emotions wrongly. Like I'll express myself and the right emotion doesn't come out. I learned tonight that I express pretty much most of my negative emotions as anger. Like today, I was, it was like scared, fear. But a lot of the times I'll express my emotions, any negative emotion, as anger, sadness, frustration, overwhelm, all those. I really need to inspect that feeling wheel. Because I don't want to express every emotion as thank you, Pew. I have a moderator on, so but I appreciate you. I don't really know you, so no, I don't think so. Not tonight. Um anyway, so that's kind of what I was doing. Going just to different live streams. I definitely like to be just in the chat sometimes. I actually wanted to reach out to you and some of the other regulars that come on and say, hey, I'm going to this chat, join me. But, I don't even know how I would do that. Ping you. But, yeah, I'm just feeling funky. And my younger son, like, slept all day long. I don't even know if he's still asleep, but it's nighttime now. It's 9:30. I made dinner. Neither of my kids ate dinner, and it's like I usually just let them feed themselves, because a lot of times when I make dinner, it's like, I don't know, they don't eat it or whatever. So again, I made dinner. My older son's not hungry. My younger son's been asleep all day, but at least I ate, which was helpful. Email. Oh, that's what I meant to ask you. So I found Cowboy's emails, and that was amazing. But I don't know what your email is to search for it. I get hundreds and hundreds of spams a day, or 50 a day. I've got just so much. It's like I need a new email address every year. But did you have a good day? Oh yeah, you're in my time zone too. You're down there. Down there in the... What was your temperature today? Did you guys get over 110? I mean, it's not even like... Usually we can open the windows at night and it cools off the house. It's really nice. I mean, we run the air conditioning, but at night I can open the windows and let the air come through the house. I really prefer that. But it's still like 90 degrees outside. Okay. Mark McGrath was a famous, Mark McGrath, motocross racer, right? Oh, 113. It's just too hot. I don't even feel like going out there. Oh, Mark McGrath and Sugar Ray. Yeah. I think there was also Mark McGrath, either a NASCAR driver or a motocross racer. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's Jeremy McGrath. Good for you. That's right. That was a long time ago. My son wants to come to Vegas to the where they train the Cirque du Soleil people. It's like a circus facility. And we have the tramp walls. He's a big tramp wall kid. And he wants me to bring him down to do that. He follows a guy on Instagram or whatever who works out down there and used to be in Cirque du Soleil. He wants me to bring him down. Hi, Lila Lee. I wonder why this keeps dimming. How do I keep my screen from dimming? It doesn't usually do that. I know, right? The flights are cheap, but, and see, that's the thing. It's like, I can't just fly down there with him. Maybe now I could. I probably should do it before my son goes back to college, because otherwise I have to bring, like, I have to drive down because I have to bring 3 dogs and a cat. Yeah, it's a long drive. It's a long drive. Did you work today? The flip. My tea bag is in the way of my straw. Yep. Another time, I guess. Or you can tell me if you want to. If you don't, that's fine. I mean, you know a lot of my story from today. And I really should have done that video over here, because this is really where it belongs. I might have to download it over there and upload it over here, because that's more of an autistic thing, you know? For me, I don't know why you're not working, but for me, I mean, I think being on the spectrum is part of it. But the other thing for me is, and I know women can go out and they can do this, but I'm not that kind of woman. I think I'm hardwired with that woman thing that's just different. It doesn't fit into the career world or whatever. I don't know. Hey, buddy. Buddy. Stop. He's chewing on a bone really, really, really loud. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. Weren't you sort of having a moment? And Gigi was like, "Are you okay?" It wasn't on my radar either until just maybe 6 months before I was diagnosed, if that. Never crossed my mind, you know. And you could, you know, neurodivergence is a thing, right? And some people are like ADHD or ADHD or autism. I don't think I have ADHD. Yeah, yeah, I totally hear you. Yeah, if it really resonated with you, it's gonna take some time to sink in. And the more, like, if you're looking into it, the more you look into it and the more you learn, the more you're going to look back on your life, and different situations and scenarios are going to make a lot of sense suddenly. It's still sometimes hard for me, because sometimes I almost kind of forget. And then something happens and it's just like being karate chopped in the throat. Like, right. You know, it's like I don't really want to be reminded. I don't mind being on the spectrum. I just mind that it's a challenge for me to be independent. Because I think most of my mental issues, my struggle is just financial. If I didn't have financial struggles, I wouldn't mind being on the spectrum. So, do you like ruminate, or is this new that you're looking at things and kind of piecing things together? Um, that can happen. But also, like, I ruminate over things, and then I have to be like, stop thinking about that. Like, it's almost like my mind, because I'm an analyst. That's my personality type. Do you know your Myers-Briggs personality type? I'm an INTP, and I'm an analyst. And so, yeah, that would be a good one for you to take that. It's used by the CIA and all like major corporations. They'll have you take that test, and it's really, really helpful to understand. So they have like names for them. There's the logician, there's the something else, I don't know, but I'm the analyst. And so I'll replay, buddy, stop. I'll replay a scenario, a situation over in my head over and over and over and over because my mind is trying to solve it. By analyzing it, it's going to figure it out. But sometimes there's just not figuring it out. Yes, you can take it online. Mm-hmm. And it's not like, I mean, you can also take autism tests online and they're pretty accurate. Take a few different ones and just see how you come up. It's weird, when I take the autistic tests, um, I'm so on the spectrum. You know, people who don't know me very well might think I'm just like, because there's a number system. If you scored from here to here, you're likely not on the spectrum. If you scored from here to here, it's a possibility. If you scored from here to here, it's highly likely. I'm in the very highly likely category, which I think is weird. I think that's really weird because I actually think that, um, I don't know. I think I do a good job of hiding it, or maybe I don't seem like it, but it's like the inner workings. It's how your inner brains perceive and function and all that stuff. Oh my gosh. Seriously, the nail biting. Yeah, now I don't usually bite my nails real short, but I did today, I think. And my like hangnails, but I also play with them. Um, I usually just bite my nails to keep them short so I don't scratch myself because I scratch myself a lot if I have any nails that are at least a little bit long. Chameleon, masking. How do you feel in social situations when you go out and you or work? You know, well, you said you're not working. Um, when you like were working, or if you had to go out and engage with the public, or like have a verbal job working with people, did it exhaust you, like totally drain you? Yeah, I believe I can blend into any situation, but after a short period of time it's evident that I'm not blending. Yeah, that's good. Well, I'd look into it because it could be the ADHD thing, it could be autism, it could be both. There's a lot of overlap there. Even neurotypicals mask, though. We mask for survival, whereas they mask just to fit in even more. They know how to play the game. We watch them play the game and then do what they're doing just so that we can exist in public spaces. And it's exhausting. So, yeah, it's a journey for sure. I'm definitely interested to see how the next several months, like what you learn about yourself, and you know, If it makes sense to you, if it resonates with you, that's what, if it helps you to know that, that's really what it comes down to. For me, being diagnosed was painful because then I got to relive all of these things and realize, oh, that's why. Mm. And it still happens. It still happens. And there's things that I didn't even realize I did. I'm like, oh my God, I do that. Like I was telling you guys the other day about the Love on the Spectrum. Watch that. Have you ever seen Love on the Spectrum? I think it's Netflix. It's worth, if you don't have a Netflix subscription, it's worth it just to get 1 month to watch Love on the Spectrum. You know, there were so many characteristics in, like each of the people. Like there were a couple of girls specifically. One of them, you might not ever really realize she's on the spectrum unless you understand what the spectrum kind of is. And I'm like, my God, I'm a lot like her. And everywhere she went, she wants to dress. She's like trying to get herself dressed and everything. And she's wearing these wacky shoes. She's got wacky shoes. So do I. That's an autistic thing. Like, we just have weird fashion sense. And, but then the other girl, she was the redhead, I think, in the first season. And really thin little redhead, cute girl. And she would just shove food in her face, as much food in her mouth as she could. And I'm like, oh my God, I do that. I didn't realize I did that until I saw her do it. I didn't even realize I did that. My mom once said to me, oh my God, you eat so fast. But that's different from you shove so much food in your mouth at one time. It's number one, dangerous. Number two, super unattractive. And you know what I mean? Yeah. So I think they're in season 3 or 4. There's actually, it's called Love on the Spectrum. It's basically a dating show, but you learn about being on the spectrum, basically. And it's good for anybody who is or thinks they might be, or for like friends, caregivers. And it's really wonderful. It's a huge hit. And so it's nice that they're showing people who are on the spectrum who can, talk, feed themselves, dress themselves, because, a lot of the times we feel kind of bad calling ourselves, yeah, well, when you're on a date, when I'm alone, I don't care and I do that. But when you're out with other people, like at a restaurant and stuff, I've had to learn how to mask. And I used to teach etiquette and manners, but it wasn't like, and take small bites, that's not part of what, it was like how to use which fork. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot once you realize it. And there has to be a point where you're like, okay, I get it. I'm done researching. And I have been to that point many times. And when I started this channel and decided to make it about autism, I was watching a lot of content and then I was making videos. And it wasn't very long at all before I was like, you know what? I fucking hate this. I can't just post these videos. I just don't want to be that immersed in it. I don't want to be that inundated with constant information. So tonight was really the first time in a while I've gone on and engaged with autistic chats. And I've had to find the creators that I like, because there's some creators that I just don't vibe with. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, hey, Slippin' Jimmy. Texas Roadhouse. I could go for a steak and a potato. Ooh, that sounds good. But so that's when I just started doing lives and talking about whatever. and making videos. You know, the little shorts, like one of my shorts that did the best, I'm like talking into scissors. I'm like, yeah, I could come into work today. You know that one. Yeah, I got cicadas disease, you know, cicadas bullshit. And that got the most views of any of my shorts. It's so funny. But I just wanted to come on, see who would pop on with me. I'm really glad you did. Makes sense being in the same time zone. But I'm like, my head kind of hurts. My heart kind of hurts and feels kind of empty too at the same time. Do you know that do you know that tears are hormones and hormones are emotions? Emotions are hormones and tears are hormones. And when we cry, we detox. We detox. So the fact that I rarely cry, I guess spitting would be the same thing. But that's how we detox those stuck things. And so I was actually really, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm really tired now. I was actually really happy to get that out. It's so uncharacteristic for me to do anything like that. Like I said, if you were sitting in front of me or if you walked in the room and I was crying, I would instantly stop crying. You wouldn't even know I was crying. And so, like in my relationships in the past, it's, you know, when someone doesn't get the reaction that is sort of predicted or normal, especially if you're not showing emotion when they think you should be, like, you should be crying right now, but you seem mad. You know, that's been my problem. Like, you really should be crying right now, but you're acting like you're angry. You know, it's been really, really hard. Especially when it's necessary. Exactly. And it's like there have been so many times where it's like I want to cry and I'll say to myself, you know, just knock it off. It's so stupid. You're fine. There's so many people that are actually struggling for real in the world. But, you know, I don't want to feel sorry for myself. I feel ashamed if I ever feel sorry for myself because I feel so lucky in life. Even though, you know, all the things I talked about today, I still feel too lucky to ever complain about anything. And that's probably a thing. Like, it's probably a disorder in and of itself. But like the imposter syndrome thing, you know, I feel like I had to get over this too. You know, there are parents out there caring for autistic people who can't talk, can't feed themselves, or they can talk and can feed themselves, but they can never go live on their own. Like I can live on my own. I just haven't figured out how to be reliably independent because I can't, all the things that go into having a job, I can't do. I can go get a job and I can show up on time for a while. I mean, I'll always be on time, but then like I can't go anymore, you know? Um, like, or the social environment degrades, or the boss knows I think he's stupid, or you know what I mean? It's get me out of here. That's why I thought cybersecurity would be the way to go. And I did follow the link that Cowboy sent me, and they still want 2 years of experience. And when someone refers you, you don't want to go in there and make them look bad. I don't have 2 years of experience. I'm really entry level. You know, I've got it easy there. So do I. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. And people will say, you know, you should ask for help. It's like, okay, well, like in my business, I don't know how to delegate anything. Like, okay, how can I help you? I have no idea how you can help me. What I need someone to do is look around and say, oh, you need help with this and this and this. I can help you with that. Thank you. You know, if I knew what help I needed, I wouldn't need help because I would try to do it myself. That's kind of my thing, right? Hi, Sprinkled Donuts. Wow, was that? That was hard to type? It's really good to admit that stuff, you know? It's super cathartic. Um, yeah, it was really hard for me to admit everything I admitted today too, you know. And I'm guessing Gigi might have been watching and knew just not to jump on because I probably would stop, which was good. Or maybe she was watching a trial. She loves watching those trials. And that Alec Baldwin trial started today, so she might have been doing that. But, um, you know, and you never want your mom to know if you're not doing well because it. I think, you know, any good mom, it's painful to see your kids in pain, especially when they're in their mid 50s, still struggling. You know, and she gets it because when I discovered and was diagnosed with autism, she was, I mean, she was like, we watched the movie Temple Grandin together, and she was like, wow. And I thought she was like, wow, I learned so much about myself, but she was talking about me, like, wow, you know, you when you were little and all of that, and wow. Um, but I think too, she's realized that, I know she's realized she's on the spectrum, and it's made a lot of, you know, we can look back and be like, okay, it's making sense now. Easier said than done. Oh, wait. Okay. Goal setting, blocking everything out. Yeah. Yeah. And see, but Slip and Jimmy, um, I can do that to the point of extreme burnout. So that's where I've got to be really careful, right? I can throw myself into something and focus and get it done and all of that stuff, but I overdo it. It's very hard for me to moderate that and, you know, just like a little bit at a time. Must do now. Fast. Oh no, yeah, oh my gosh. Never ask for help. Like you said, I will do for myself. No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know, right? And then, like, I can't do everything myself. For example, these other live streamers, they'll be on like Twitter and Rumble and Twitch and all these things all at once. That shouldn't be that easy to set up, right? But somehow that is the executive function, and it's just going to take me forever to get that done. I mean, it shouldn't, and it won't. I just need to do it, right? Don't worry too much. How oh, okay, wait. Well, never mind. Okay. Don't worry too much. It's out of your hands, and it's out of your hands. You can only control what you do. Right. You blame the boomers. In the boomers' shadow. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. You'll have to explain what that means. I'm a Gen Xer, so you know, in order to have a shadow, they have to be there and they weren't. When they say we were the feral generation, it's absolutely true. We did whatever we wanted. Hi, Shifty. How you doing? Well, it's historically always been someone in one of the older generations because they're older and wiser and have more experience. Yeah, I mean, I kind of think people shouldn't even be able to vote until they're like 65. And I definitely don't think women should be in politics until after they've gone through menopause, and it's like a decade after menopause. The air conditioning just turned on. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I don't know how to highlight certain comments. You know how creators, I think maybe because I'm on my phone, I don't know. Creators will like pull up the comment that they're referring to. I don't know how to do that. Do I go like this? Pin message? No. I don't know. It doesn't give me that option. But whatever, does not matter. The boomers, the boomers were the children of the greatest generation. You're an old gangster? Slippin' Jimmy is an old gangster. I'm an OG. For real. It's okay, you know. Um, you said you are 30 or you're in your 30s? You are 30. I'm 30, yeah. Yikes. When I was 30, I thought I knew some shit. What's that mean? Does anybody know what that means? DMs? Is it DMS or DMs or? Okay, good. You've got a career. To who? How? Brr. I might have to move my couch until wintertime. Or maybe I just need to like maybe I should just close that vent altogether. Maybe I should open that vent. I don't know. The place where I'm at, it's like the front room hardly gets any air through the vents, and this room gets so much air through the vent. You've been studying these boomers? I mean, they lucked out, that's for sure. They lucked out. They had excellent parents. They probably had mom at home. Dad was working. They had a traditional life. Divorce didn't start happening until, like, mass divorce began. My parents were one of the first parents divorced in my school in 1979, and then it was a domino effect. Like, everybody's parents got divorced after that. Well, he was in his 20s last year. Hi, honey. I had to put the tacos away, but they're in there if you want them. Sprinkled? What are you talking about? Yeah, you will probably not. We probably just won't even have a country by then. I don't know where you live, but it'll probably be New China, New Britain, New Russia, New Saudi Arabia. California will be New China. Like the whole West Coast will probably be New China. You got an accident or disabled. 2035. Well, I've always been an independent contractor for the most part. So I probably, like, I've paid in very, very little to Social Security. And it's bullshit because you put money into it and now you're not going to get it out. It's awful. You know, it is an entitlement. You are entitled to that money. It's awful. What kind of law do you practice? I guess family law is like the most lucrative just because, you know, divorce. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's deep. It's deep. We're screwed. It's all theater. This has been the plan to ruin this country since before we got our independence. But well, for sure, when we got our independence, they were like, just wait. And then they rolled out their 200 and something year plan to dumb us down. So we don't know what's true and what isn't. Rockefeller said when the American people, when everything the American people believe is false, we will have accomplished our goal. It's like, I love hair, but at the same time, I'm always having to move it around because it gets on my nerves, but I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm getting sleepy, so I'll probably, at 1 hour, I'm going to cut this off. So we got like another 17 minutes. We have another 16 minutes and about 45 seconds. This live stream that the doctor was doing, he was talking about how to date when you're neurodivergent, and he had a list. They told you we're crazy. What kind of crazy? Prescribe me meds. What kind of meds? Yeah. Sprinkled, I don't think Sprinkled believes you, Jimmy. I don't think he believes you, or she. He, she. Sprinkled sounds like a he. Yeah. What kind of meds would they put you on for that? I don't think there's autism meds. Oh, there's meds for that, yeah. Well, you know, in the 80s, they started putting all of the boys on meds, on ADHD meds. Well, not so much in the 80s, but for sure by 2000s, like every boy that has any energy at all is going to be labeled ADHD and should be on meds. And I homeschooled my kids. I'm like, you're not putting your grubby mitts on my kids. Yeah, I actually can't see it because I don't have my reading glasses on. And I'm an OG, remember? I'm an OG. What do you mean that's a fake profile pic? How do you know these things? I do think, Mark, I think Vivi is not an 11-year-old girl. I think Vivi is like a 50-year-old dude. just based on the comments, sense of humor, stuff like that. Not definitely not an 11-year-old girl. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Thank God. I'm so glad I'm tired. Yeah. Well, I did. But she came back today, so it must not have been too big of a deal. Right? Right at the end of the morning live stream, I think I saw her pop on. I mean, I wish that she was an 11-year-old girl because she would be sweet and smart, but she's just an old dude, old creeper. No, there's no meds. Oh, okay. Interesting, yeah. Well, and two, if you're a parent of an autistic child, you want to really be careful about that diet. Metabolic psychology is a big deal, and we all know, like especially sugar. Yeah. Um, I exactly have that problem, Mark. I would be a really good typist if I would just slow down. People say what? Autism is a spiritual problem? Yeah, some things not necessarily. Oh, I see what you're saying. People say it's a spiritual problem. You're not that kind. So you're a doctor too? Um, After COVID, you're skeptical. Good. Good for you. You're skeptical of what though? Just the medical industry in general? Meds? Oh, that's so funny. Sprinkled donuts. Can you hear him? I don't think he's making. What are you making, honey? Sandwich. But my older son did finally cut his hair. It looks like he went through a wood chipper, but at least it's not like it was. It was so out of control and gross, and he cut it. I actually sent him a YouTube short of this kid that doesn't look like him, but kind of looked like him because he had the crazy hair and just like looked crazy. And then he got done, and I sent it to my son, and he came out, and his hair was like he went through a wood chipper. I'm like, well, that's good. It'll be easier for the barber to clean you up. Oh, they lie about everything. It's Yeah, they lie about everything, and so do people. 80% of people lie regularly. I learned that statistic last year sometime. 80%. No, I'm tired and I'm hungry now. Boomers. Oh my gosh. I know, Mark. I get it. I've learned the hard way about that. So my older son came out last night. For yesterday and the day before, he was having this thing where he was trying to make a point to people about something and was pulling out, like his friends online, pulling out statistics and pulling out this, and they're like, he's like, this kid, I pulled out the data and he still wants to argue with me, even though he can see that I'm right. I'm like, get used to it and just don't bother. Like, just don't. Like, what's the point, Well, I'm helping them. I'm hoping. I used to think that too. And it's really just time not well spent. I finally learned just make a video about it and post it. Let whoever find it, find it. But man, yeah. I'm the same. I was the same way. I just don't do that anymore. It's fruitless. They do get offended by facts. Facts and data are so offensive. Oh, bye, Slippin' Jimmy. Have a good night. You never told me what kind of law you practice. I do not know who Sprinkled Donuts is, but I love you. You are hilarious. How do you have such a good lie detector if you are in fact correct? I know. How can you tell? You need to teach us because I can't tell. How? How can you tell? You used to make donuts. Did you put sprinkles on them? I can't tell if people are lying. I can't tell if people are being nice or mean. I can't tell. I mean, I can tell when someone's being nice, but then sometimes when you think someone's being nice to you or you thought someone was being nice, you look back and you're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. They were being sarcastic and mean. It's your job. I want that job. I mean, I'd be very bad at it, but I might get some training, right? What job is that? I want to know what job that is. Yeah, I do too. I also find talking on the phone, I've had more success in conversations that were challenging. Like if I had a challenging conversation with my boyfriend or something in person, it seemed to spiral out of control and get bad. But over the phone, it worked. And I think it's because you can't see my face. My facial expressions, I think, can trigger someone. If we're having a serious conversation, I'm like, you're stupid. Even if I don't say it, they can see that I'm thinking that. So it's better over the phone. Oh, you do? I cannot stand talking on the phone. I just can't stand it. I would much rather text. And like I told you, I went on those websites where you do the face-to-face live chat. Hated it. Hated it. It's just too weird. Now, if like it's a Zoom chat and there's a bunch of people on, that would be fun, maybe. That might be fun. Okay, it's 56 minutes. So let's do 4 more minutes and then we should all go to bed. Sprinkled, where are you in the world? I'm curious now, and I really want to know what you do for a living that, or do or did that makes you be able to be such a good lie detector? I actually took a lie detector test. So I was a writer and photojournalist for the largest sheriff's union in the world. And that was a good time. So then when I moved to Tampa, they had a job opening for someone who did something similar with the Tampa PD. And I was the number one in the running. I went through a few interviews and I was number one in the running. And so they took me upstairs for a lie detector test, right? Well, the lie detector test showed that I'm absolutely trustworthy, which it was so, I knew that, but I had been accused of lying in my life. And so, and that was very frustrating. I hate that. And so it was really wonderful to have that validation. I'm like, yeah, I knew that. I knew that. But they didn't hire me because I was so honest about things. This was before marijuana was legal. And when I lived in LA, I was smoking. I've got a broken back and I can't take pain meds. And she said, like, well, how many times have you smoked? I'm like, I don't know, thousands? Well, I should have said, you know, I just use it for pain because I can't tolerate pharma medications. And I was smoking the whole time I worked for the sheriff's department and blah, 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 blah. Now it's medically legal in Florida, so it wouldn't even be an issue anymore. Okay, wait, let me read this. So, because he said he bangs his head against the wall until he gets what he wants, etc., blah, 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 and went into detail. However, when lying to people, don't really get into detail. He forgot that he lied to you. He forgot he said he was a lawyer, and he said he isn't that kind of doctor, just making conversation with you. I mean, like, did he really mean he was a doctor? Or was he just saying, like, is that just a saying that I've never heard? I'm going to start saying that. I'm not that kind of doctor. That's my new saying. I'm not that kind of doctor. I'm not that kind of lawyer. Yeah, that was very good because I no longer need people to know that I am very honest. Because 80% of people lie and they will never believe you. And they also say they're honest. That's the weird thing. It's not weird, I guess, because they're liars and they lie about being liars. So that makes total sense, actually. But then when someone like me says it, it's just doesn't even have any meaning whatsoever. Being on the autistic spectrum, that's like a hallmark of autism, is that we can't lie. It's like, we just can't even do it. Sorry, that's loud. Okay, so wait, let me go back. Hold on. In Alaska, my job is law enforcement field. It's my job to tell if someone's lying or not. I love it. You didn't make me blush. That's a light. You didn't make me blush. Oh, that's cute. Okay, you can hear me. Well, the kid, my older son went in and got ice out of the freezer, so. Okay. Well, that's really interesting. So you are in Alaska and you are in law enforcement in lie detection, basically, which is awesome. Yeah. You know, years ago, I was dating this guy and I don't remember what we were talking about, but he says, well, you just have to be discerning. I'm like, I guess I don't know how. I'm like, and that's why, like my other channel, you know, I say I'm a dog too, because I am like that. Like, I just, believe people. You know, you tell your dog something, they believe you. You know? They're like, okay, that's fine, just love me. I was actually proud of myself for figuring out that Evie's not an 11-year-old girl. I was like, yay, I figured something out. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, okay, so are you saying Slippin' Jimmy is more like 14? I guess so, huh? Oh my God. Good morning, Jonathan. Hi, honey. Oh, look, I was supposed to end the stream 1 minute and 40 seconds ago, but now Jonathan's on. Jonathan, it's pretty interesting. Not a super long chat. You might want to rewind and kind of read it and see what's going on. It's hilarious. Oh, I am more relaxed. Thank you. I took a shower, prettied up my hair, felt a little better that way. I just felt really drained. My head hurt, my body was tired, my heart hurt and was feeling drained. And I was just sort of vegging out this evening on some other creators' live streams, which is good. And then I thought I just needed to jump back up on the horse tonight for just a little while. It's hard revealing that kind of stuff. I never do that because I don't want anyone to think that I'm like trying to make anybody feel sorry for me or trying to manipulate people into, you know, especially on a platform like this. Like I said, there's this one girl and her content for like the past 3 years has been how depressed she is. And now people are just sending her money because they feel so sorry for her. And she just goes on her lives and cries and cries and cries like I was today, but she does it every day. And I'm like, that's, no, not doing that. And, so anyway, I don't want to do that. And so today was very unusual for me, but I'm glad I got it out. And I actually felt really supported by you guys. I felt super supported by you guys. And so, you know, thank you. I don't go to therapy. I don't like being asked questions. You know, like in therapy, I don't like I don't really like being asked questions. I don't know why. It's just pet peeve. I don't mind asking other people questions. I'm a really good interviewer. But I don't like being asked questions about myself. And I can never answer questions just straight. It's always like every single freaking thing that anybody would ask me a question about myself, it's never just a simple answer. And that gets annoying for other people too. And so it's like, you know, just stop asking me questions. I hate it. I don't love sprinkled donuts, but I do love you. Like, I don't like sprinkles. I don't know why people like sprinkles. Moon 96, are you asking me then why do I put myself in public? Like that kind of question isn't the kind of question I'm talking about. And I don't mind putting myself in public like this, but being asked a bunch of questions, like one after the next, I don't like that. Sorry. I'm just being honest. I would love a good glazed donut though, but I can't eat gluten. Makes me feel like garbage. My son is petting my dog with bubble wrap. Yeah. I just don't think they add anything. They have no flavor. They're just full of sugar. And yeah, they get stuck in your teeth and they're like, okay, so I went to the link that he sent me, and the job I saw that he must have been talking about, or the company in general, they still require 2 years of experience. And we were emailing today a little bit, and I'm like, I'm not really sure how to approach them because I don't have that experience. And I don't want, and I didn't say this to him, but because I knew we'd be on a live at some point, like tomorrow or whenever I talk to him again, I don't feel comfortable dropping someone's name if I'm not sure I'm going to be good at the job. Like, you know, I'm very entry level, so I would want to be able to really do the job. So I might put that on the back burner and make sure I know what I'm doing, maybe do like some interning or something for a year, and then approach them. But it's not something I think I can step into today. I got my certification a year ago and try to get a job, couldn't get a job, and so then I just abandoned that whole idea out of absolute defeat and frustration. Glazed donut was taken? Aww. I think it's a fantastic name though for YouTube. I figured it was some kind of secret weird fetish thing anyway, so. That's disgusting. Oh my God. Why would they even publicize that? Is this something that they say, or it's just that you can find out if you look for it? Yuck. Exactly. And so I didn't want to name drop because he's like, tell him I sent you. Well, what am I going to tell him? Like, I have a certificate, I've never done it. Can I just practice on you guys? No. Yeah, sugar's definitely, they say it's like the most addictive substance. And it's so destructive to ourselves. And it's destructive to society because people walk around acting like they act. Now, is this like something you saw on like an expose, or are they like advertising the equivalent of 93-pound chicken munchkin donuts right here in a cup? Correct. So you've looked up the nutritional information? Gross. That's horrible. Yes, I do, Jonathan. And that's the thing. It's like, what do I do now? Because sometimes other people can see it more clearly than you. What do I do now? Because my company is not doing well in this recession. Or economy. It's been I think it's been 2 years since we've been doing well. So what do I do now to pick up the slack and become independent again? I need that to happen. And I mean, it could be 2, 3, 4 years or something like that before I start making actual money from YouTube. Will the world even exist? Will there be a YouTube? Is the grid gonna, is there gonna be electricity? I don't know. Transferable skills, yeah. I know you guys love donuts. Yeah. When my kids were little, they're like, "Are zombies real?" And I'm like, "Look around. They're everywhere." A basketball, huh? Is that true? My girlfriend used to light her farts on fire. Not girlfriend like girlfriend, but just my girlfriend. BFF. I don't have any BFFs right now. Same thing. I was friends with her since kindergarten. And I don't know, she just quit reaching out and calling me. So I'm like, no problem. Don't have to hit me in the head with a brick. You don't want to talk to me? Fine. Call me when you want to talk. Whatever. Yeah, it's awful. So I guess what it comes down to, they just want us all addicted to video games and drugs. That's all we're going to be doing pretty soon. Video games and drugs. I appreciate that, Jonathan. I really wish, can I call you Jonathan? Is that okay? Because that's the only way I can say your name properly. I don't really feel like I have any drive left. I used to be extremely driven. I was the one driven person everybody knew, but I'm so burned out I have no more drive in me. I have to force myself. I opened up the Coursera to look at the IBM AI stuff that I was studying and like figure out where I left off, because that was also like almost a year ago. And I couldn't even really figure out where to pick it back up. But I think that that's a better fit for me. There are lots of jobs out there for chatbot engineers, and it's so easy. Like, that seems like the first easiest step, because I can just make chatbots, and when they're like, well, have you made chatbots? Yeah, here's 10 of them that I've made. Check it out. They're not difficult. It's a little time consuming. What makes me wife material? I'm totally wife material for some people. Never tried what? Filbert. Um, hmm. What do you mean by that? A rep. I would love a rep. Jonathan? Okay, that works. A walkabout. I'm reading your comments and I don't exactly know what they're pertaining to. I need to stay way down here in the bottom and watch them as they flow in. Oh, she's married with, well, actually, I don't know if she's still married. I like to check up on people, even if I'm not really talking to them. I still love her and want to know she's okay. I did text her recently and didn't hear anything back from her. So I don't know, maybe for one reason or another, she doesn't want to be friends, but I think maybe she got divorced during COVID, because it appears that he has a different address. They used to live in one area. I don't know why they would have moved. So maybe she stayed there with the kids and he moved back wherever. So I don't know what's going on. You thought I had a product? I do, actually. I have lots of products. I have a book on Amazon that's been there since, well, I wrote the book in 2004. It's been through 5 edits. It's on Amazon. And then I just uploaded another book, and then I didn't even realize I uploaded it to like a different email address. So now I have like 2 accounts on Amazon. That's that autistic executive function thing. So frustrating. I have lots of products and things that I can do anyway. Is that because your muscles are bulging out from your gym time, or did you have too many Dunkin' Donuts with sprinkles? Yeah, yeah. Zombies. Well, exactly. So one day I was walking out of the store and like it was like I guess it was my trip to the store and like everybody's cutting in front of me. Nobody's holding the door open. Like it was probably even an electronic door or whatever. I don't really know why, but it was just all these things are happening. Like, am I invisible? And I was talking to my girlfriend on the phone. I'm like, what is going on today? Like, it's like I'm invisible. Everybody's cutting me off. Everybody's like, whatever. And she's like, just remember, the majority of people you encounter are on medication. I was like, right. She's like, they're not really with it. I'm like, oh my gosh, right. Are you asking me what my book is about? So I wrote the first gluten-free guidebook on the market. Um, no, I haven't made an app, but I would really love to. That looks like fun. Back in the day, I was designing websites like right in the very beginning of when you could first design websites. That was a great time. I mean, my grandma bought a Texas Instrument computer with a screen like this big when I was 10 years old. I was learning to code. I dig it. But there is a thing. When I was getting my cybersecurity certificate, I realized that dealing with Python is very, very challenging for someone with dyslexia. Now it'll highlight all your junk, and then I can always like take it into AI and be like, what did I do wrong here? Because a lot of the times I can't see what I've screwed up because I'm dyslexic. It looks fine to me. So that was one of the things that I was like, I don't know if cybersecurity is the best route for me because I'm dyslexic. And so then I learned more about AI. I'm like, I actually like this better. But I would take a job as a junior analyst or something like that because that's not challenging. You sit there and you just make sure everything's good. You just watch, look for alerts. That's good. That's good. I'm glad your workout is working out. I know, right? Chivalry is, they say, dead. Um, I think they have app tools like they have for websites. You know, you don't have to know how to code it. You don't have to know WordPress. You can just go on and like fill in the fields, and there you've got a website. I think they have things like that for apps now as well. And if it's a really great idea you think is going to make some money, you can always hire a designer. Can you let the kitty in, please? Thank you. Start it off with how you feel. I don't know what that's referring to. I'm hungry and I'm tired. I guess live streaming makes me hungry. 'Cause isn't it always like I get on a live and then after like half an hour I'm like, I'm starving. Oops, what? Oops, what? Yeah, I do need to. Oh, you're talking to Mark. Okay. Um, yeah. Let's end this in 5 minutes. Everybody say your goodbyes. It's okay, Filbert. Are you new here or are you just new to chatting here? I have had a long day. We are at 10:46. Oh my gosh, you guys have to see this coolest thing I got. I'm gonna show it to you. I know, you're just waking up, aren't you? Oh my gosh. I'm gonna show you something really, really cool on my computer, I hope. Here it is. I love this fucking thing. Let me make it big. Look a here, look a here. Where this sun is, it's noon. Is that the coolest thing? And then you can go over here and like I can pull up, for example, I think, oh, that's not it. I don't even know what this is, what this part does. Hold on. Oh, shoot. I gotta put my glasses on. Maybe this one is it. There we go. Look at that. Now it's got the zodiac all over it. Isn't that awesome? I don't know if I should tell you guys where I got it. It's a free download, but you might not like me anymore after I tell you where I got it. Or you might like me more, depending who you are. That's the flat earth map that's underneath there. And it's from a flat earther's website. I was watching the Roseanne Barr podcast and she had the flat earther guy on. And he's like, yeah, go to my website. I got this clock. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's amazing. I love it. I'm ahead? Who's ahead of you? That must be Jonathan is ahead of you. Your dad's a Scorpio. What's your mom? Is your mom a Leo? He was never caught? Yeah, thanks, Mark. I appreciate you hopping back on, checking in on me. I'll probably see you guys tomorrow. You know, there's no reason for me not to turn my camera on when I'm having my coffee. How would I be 1 hour ahead of you? Oh, right. Duh. That's it? Yeah, I guess that would be it, huh? Never been to Alaska. It just seems like it's so cold. But I could live in an igloo. Do you live in an igloo? Do you get asked that a lot? I would. I could live in an igloo. I know it stays like 64 degrees in there, doesn't it? What game is he playing? Joey, are you playing a game?
No.
Oh, that's Corey in the other room. I don't know what he's playing. Can you hear him? The door's open. Aw, Jonathan, thank you. Yeah, you're in Alaska. All right, I suppose I should just do it. By the time my finger gets to the phone and hits that X, it's over. Oh, yeah, he's in there. He's in there having a good time. Thank you, sweetie. He closed the door. You mean in the igloo? Bye, Jonathan. Bye, Mark. Bye, Sprinkles. Bye, Filbert. Okay.